Hi, I'm Laurie St. John. I'm the Vice President of Hartford HealthCare at Home, and I'm here to welcome everyone to our celebration of life. Every year in May, we have this celebration to remember the people that have passed over the last year. You would think that when we come that it's very sad, but honestly, it's a celebration, it's joyous. We remember their lives, we remember cherished memories, we have the ability to say their name out loud again. So really, although it's sad, it really is very joyous. This year, though, it's going to be different. This year, many people could not be with their loved ones when they passed. This year, our funerals, our wakes, our rituals that help us grieve were really changed and altered. So it definitely is a very different year. We're hoping that through this celebration that we will help you in this journey to healing. I'd like to do a reading right now as we begin. There is a time for everything, for all things under the sun. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to laugh, a time to cry, a time to dance, and a time to mourn, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to forget and a time to remember.
Finding you in beauty. The rays of light filtered through the sentinels of trees this morning, and as I sat in the garden and contemplated, the serenity and beauty of my feelings and surroundings completely captivated me. And I thought of you. I discovered you tucked away in the shadows of the trees. And then I rediscovered you. In the smiles of the flowers as the sun penetrated their petals, and in the rhythm of the leaves falling in the garden, and in the freedom of the birds as they fly searching as you do. And I'm very happy to have found you, for now you will never leave me, for I'll always, always find you in the beauty of life. Walter Rinder.
I wish you strength to rise unafraid, like the morning sun taking on the day. Because when you shine, you light up the place. So I wish you strength. I wish you faith that you will overcome whatever you face until your journey's done. Beyond any words, as certain as grace, I wish you faith. I wish you could see the you that I see there at the edge of possibility. I pray that you will find all that you need. I wish you peace that comes from within, a gentle release of all that might have been, like the stillness that waits between waking and sleep. I wish you peace. I wish you could see the you that I see there at the edge of possibility. eyes unafraid, like the morning sun taking on the day. Because when you shine, you light up the place. I wish you strength. I wish you faith. I wish you peace. I wish you strength.
Hi, I'm Mary Jo. I'm one of the hospice nurses at the hospital. My career started as an emergency room nurse, and so many times we had trauma patients, or a patient who died of a heart attack, or the final stages of cancer, or COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. We would call the family members into a small room, and the doctor and I would deliver that bad news, that their loved ones didn't survive. And I couldn't stay to help those loved ones because I had 6 more patients that I had to go run and take care of. After years, this left an empty spot, and as I changed my nursing career over to hospice, I felt I was able to fill that void, as I am able to support and educate not only the patient that's dying, but their loved ones who are struggling with the unknown, making their passing more peaceful and accepting for the family. My current role is a hospice nurse in the hospital, helping to care for hospice patients whose complex symptoms cannot be managed at home or in a nursing home. And now, here comes COVID and the pandemic. Nursing homes refuse to allow families to visit in an attempt to protect their loved ones and their staff. And then the family got that call. Their loved one was going to the hospital in respiratory distress, fever, or positive for the virus. Again, they were not allowed to see them or be there to hold their hand and say goodbye, I love you. Or then there's mom and dad suddenly sick at home with a fever, cough, respiratory. Family calls 911 and they're taken to the ED and they're told they can't come in because there's too many positive cases, whether in the emergency room or in ICU. Wow, what a sad, empty feeling. All they want to do is see their loved one and to say goodbye. I love you. All I could think was, how could I help them through this and how could I ease their fear? Well, I had to regroup, and yes, I could FaceTime with my work phone and had gowned up and was letting families talk to their dying loved ones. But some didn't use FaceTime, so I quickly learned Zoom and the WhatsApp, whatever I could do to help them. These families unite and just say goodbye. I saw the smiles and the tears on both the family and the patient's faces, but they got to say goodbye, I love you. They had some closure. I saw exhausted floor nurses and aides trying to do the same for the patients and their families that weren't on hospice while trying to care and give scheduled meds and do their patient needs. My inpatient hospice patients were usually on the oncology floor, and now they couldn't be there, so I was dealing with many brand new nurses that just graduated, or travelers that had never cared for the dying hospice patients before. So I would guide them, educate them with comfort care, ease their minds that the dose of medication was a higher dose, but it was needed for comfort for the dying patient. It was ongoing education and support and working together as a team for what was best for the dying patient. But there was a sense of coming together to support, educate, and help each other through a time that we never thought we would ever live through. Easy tasks of getting consents for hospice now became a challenge. Meeting people in parking garages or in parking lots, learning to scan to emails, waiting for them to come back, faxing, multiple phone calls back and forth, but we got it done. Some days are harder than others. Patients so young, others dying from other diseases that weren't COVID, and family still wasn't allowed to visit if it was in the CCU, or if they were allowed to visit for 15 minutes and only one patient family member at a time. It was an empty, sad, exhausting feeling. This has made me a stronger person and a more compassionate nurse, wife, and mom. My experience that I've shared is with patients that were admitted in the hospital during this time. We are here today, though, honoring all our loved ones, those that were lost at the hospital or lost at skilled facilities, or those that passed away in their home. Either way, it's always about providing the highest quality and comfort for the patient and their family at their end-of-life journey. I feel blessed to have helped and provided care to those in need during this challenging time and wish comfort and peace to all of you who have lost a loved one at this difficult time. God bless.
I'm Bill Pilkington. I am the supervisor for spiritual and for bereavement services for Hartford HealthCare at Home Hospice. And even though, as Laurie said earlier, this is such a different world for us because of the inability sometimes to be by the bedside of our loved ones, or to be able to have a funeral or calling hours or celebration of life, or just to have a gathering. It's so painful because that's one of the ways we know of honoring and loving and acknowledging their loved one, that their life mattered. I want you to know that every week in every team, there is an interdisciplinary team meeting. And during that meeting, the meeting begins in which we remember the patients who died the previous week. And in that meeting, for many of the teams, the way in which we also want to remember them and to tell the stories. In some of the teams, you can see there is a vase filled with shells in which a shell is put in honor and memory of your loved one. For other teams, you'll see a multicolored bead, because in the beads, the staff picks what is the color that they think symbolizes the personality of your loved one. And in some cases, multiple colors are picked, because that's how your loved one impacted themselves on us and how we treasure them. We do honor your loved ones. We know that it's been hard for you not being able to do that. For some of you, if they were in a facility, whether it was a hospital or in a skilled nursing home, you weren't even able to be by their bedside. Perhaps if it was the first floor, you looked through a window, or you did it through FaceTime or through Zoom or some other app in which you got to see each other. But it's not the same. But what I can tell you, whether you saw them in person or not, you were there. Your love, your connection with them was in them. And your longing and to be by their side, your loved one was with you. Maybe not physically, but you're always connected. One of the things about our lives and our relationships is that the connections that we have with each other are deeper than a memory. The shared experiences, the love, the growth, shaped you for who you have become, and all of you who are grieving for your loved ones, you help them to become the person they are. And that is a forever connection. They are as much a part of you as your heart is. You are as much a part of them as they are. And that never ends. The bond that we have with our loved ones is a forever bond. There is no such thing as closure. The relationship lives on. How you have become who you are is always there. And part of what life is teaching us, as you are grieving for someone who gave you such life and such growth and such love, for us to keep doing it to others, for us to imprint ourselves in each other, to value the life that we have. And when the time comes and you're able to have a funeral, you're able to have a celebration of life, gather, tell the stories, celebrate who they are, treasure who they are, and honor them by continuing to love, be connected, and deepen yourself within each other.
Hi, I'm Holly, one of the directors for the hospice program, and today I would like you to join me by responding, "We remember them." In the rising of the sun and its going down, we remember them. In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of the winter, we remember them. In the opening of the buds and the rebirth of spring, we remember them. In the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of the summer, we remember them. In the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. When we are tired and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick of heart, we remember them. When we have joys and celebrations we yearn to share, we remember them. So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are part of us. We remember them. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Susan Sokol, and I'm one of the hospice directors. I'm going to read to you a poem called The Dash Between Those Years. I read of a man who stood to speak at a funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that the first came her date of birth and spoke the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that she spent alive on earth. And now only those who loved her know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand how other people feel, and be less quick to anger, and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect, and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy's being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash?
People say to me, oh, we gotta be crazy. How can you sing in times like these? Don't you read the news? Don't you know the score? How can you sing when so many others grieve? People say to me, what kind of fool believes that a song will make a difference in the end? By way of a reply, I say a fool such as I, who sees a song as somewhere to begin. A song is somewhere to begin, the search for something worth believing in. If change is hard to come, there are things that must be done, and a song is somewhere to begin. People say to me, oh, you gotta be crazy. How can you dream in times like these? Don't you read the news? Don't you know the score? How can you dream when so many others grieve? People say to me, what kind of fool believes that a dream will make a difference in the end? By way of a reply, I say a fool such as I, who sees a dream as somewhere to begin. A dream is somewhere to begin, a search for something worth believing in. If change is hard to come, there are things that must be done, and a dream is somewhere to begin. People say to me, oh, you gotta be crazy. times like these. Don't you read the news? Don't you know the score? How can you love when so many others grieve? People say to me, what kind of fool believes that love will make a difference in the end? By way of a reply, I say a fool such as I, who sees love as somewhere to begin. Love is somewhere to begin. The search for something worth believing in. If changes are to come, there are things that must be done. And love is somewhere to begin. A dream is somewhere to begin. And a song is somewhere to begin.
Hi, I'm Brian Gray, a pastoral counselor for the hospice. I have a closing blessing. As you go forward, know that you are not alone. Death has touched us all uniquely, but the sting is collective. There will be painful days ahead. Let them be. They are part of the healing. Life will never be the same, but the sting will not be as deep. Light and love can enter, and you will know that your loved one will always be in your heart.
Hi, my name is Ann Olson. I'm the Vice President of the Hospice Program. These past few months have been so challenging for you, for our state, for our country, for our world. Hartford HealthCare at Home Hospice is truly dedicated to providing compassionate kindness and really providing integrity and excellence of care for all of our patients and their families. We want to really thank you for entrusting us. We could not have provided care for your loved one during this delicate time without your trust. We want to thank you for the opportunity to have shared in their journey of life alongside with you. I'd like to leave you with a poem by E.E. Cummings called I Carry Your Heart. I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I am never without it. Anywhere I go, you go, my dear. And whatever is done by only me is your doing, my darling. I fear no fate, for you are my fate, my sweet. I want no world, for beautiful you are my world, my true. And it's you are whatever a moon has always meant, and whatever a sun will always sing is you. Here is the deepest secret nobody knows. Here is the root of the root, and the bud of the bud, and the sky of the sky, the tree called life, which grows higher than soul can hope or mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. I carry your heart. I carry it in my heart. Thank you.
Times are surreal. The world is filled with questions that have no answers. But even when it's not easy, you carry carry on. For giving hope, we thank you. For serving and transforming lives. For providing endless excellence of care. Every day you show courage. Every day you show you care. In a world filled with uncertainty, when it seems too much to bear, you show strength, heroic devotion. We're united by the selflessness and compassion that you share. You are resilient. Through the great unknown, you navigate with kindness. The sacrifice you make is not in vain. You are constant heroes, strong, inspired stars. You foster peace, health, and community. Every day you show courage. Every day you show you care. In a world filled with uncertainty, when it seems too much to bear, you show strength, heroic devotion. We're united by the selflessness and compassion that you share. Our hearts are filled with gratitude for the selflessness you share. I sincerely thank all of you for the beautiful care you provide to our precious patients and families, now and always.